Princess Leonor's royal wedding secret finally revealed. Everyone thought they knew what to expect from Princess Leonor's royal wedding. Tradition, grandeur, and a carefully choreographed ceremony meant to honor centuries of Spanish monarchy. But in the middle of that breathtaking day, something happened that no one predicted. A hidden truth, long guarded behind palace walls, was finally revealed. And it left not only Spain, but the entire world, in absolute shock. Because the real story of Leonor's wedding wasn't just about vows and crowns, it was about a secret that redefines what it means to be a future queen. So, what was this secret? Why did it leave dignitaries, royals, and even her own family stunned into silence? And how could one revelation transform what seemed like the most traditional royal wedding into a moment of history that people will talk about for generations? To answer that, we must return to the very beginning of this story. From the moment Princess Leonor was born, her destiny was written. She would one day be Queen of Spain, the first female monarch since the 19th century. Her life was planned, rehearsed, and shaped to fit that destiny. She attended military training, delivered speeches that echoed beyond her years, and carried herself with a seriousness that proved she was ready to rule. But in the background, whispers of her private life were always carefully managed. No one knew exactly how she balanced the pressures of her role with the desires of her heart. Then came the announcement of her engagement to Prince Christian of Denmark. On the surface, it seemed perfect. A union of two royal houses, uniting Spain and Denmark, strengthening ties across Europe. The public celebrated, the media painted it as a fairy tale, and the palace projected confidence. But beneath the glittering surface, something more was unfolding. Something no one dared speak about publicly. And on the day of the wedding, with the eyes of the world fixed on her, Leonor chose to let that secret finally come to light. The cathedral in Madrid was magnificent. Guests included kings, queens, presidents, and prime ministers. The air was heavy with history, with every camera poised to capture each step. Leonor entered in her gown, radiant, calm, and every inch the queen she was born to be. But as she walked down that aisle, many noticed a subtle intensity in her gaze. It was as if she carried not just the weight of tradition, but the burden of something unspoken, something she was ready, at last, to reveal. When the vows began, the world expected standard phrases, recited with formality. Instead, Leonor's voice broke the mold. She spoke with raw emotion, words that went beyond mere love. She revealed a truth that only her closest circle knew. Her relationship with Christian had not been orchestrated by politics or arranged by crowns. It had been born out of years of secrecy, out of friendship that quietly grew into love, hidden from the relentless scrutiny of the press and the pressures of the palace. She admitted, in front of everyone, that she and Christian had been meeting long before the world knew. That they had fought to protect their bond from the weight of expectation. That every challenge, the distance, the duty, the fear of scandal, had been faced in silence, together. And now, by marrying him, she was not simply fulfilling a royal obligation, but fulfilling a promise she made to herself long ago. The audience froze. Royals shifted in their seats. Queen Letitia's eyes glistened with tears, King Felipe leaned forward, visibly moved. Even members of the Danish royal family, usually so composed, exchanged glances of surprise. It was not the words of a scripted air. It was the confession of a young woman who dared to make her private truth public. And that was the secret. Leonor had not simply chosen Christian because it was expected. She had fought for this love in silence, carrying the risk of being misunderstood or criticized. She had chosen to reveal that struggle, in front of the world, on the most important day of her life. But that revelation sparked more questions than answers. Why now? Why reveal such a secret at a wedding broadcast to millions? The answer lies in what Leonor represents. She is not just Spain's future queen, she is a bridge between tradition and modernity. By speaking her truth, she sent a message that the monarchy would no longer be built on silence and hidden compromises, but on authenticity, courage, and humanity. As the vows ended, Christian took her hand, and in that moment, he confirmed the story with his own words. He acknowledged the struggles they faced, the secrecy they endured, and his promise to stand by her not just as a husband, but as her partner in the daunting journey of monarchy. The cathedral erupted in applause, breaking royal protocol. Guests rose to their feet. Outside, the crowds roared, unaware they had just witnessed something unprecedented, a future queen revealing the most guarded part of her heart. And yet, the curiosity only grew. What did this mean for Spain? Could the public accept a queen who chose transparency over tradition? Could the monarchy survive if its future was built on personal truth rather than the guarded mysteries of the past? Or would Leonor's choice be the very thing that saved it? The reception offered further clues. Observers noticed the warmth between the Spanish and Danish royal families, but also the subtle tensions. Some whispered about Infanta Sofia, Leonor's younger sister, who seemed emotional, caught between joy for her sister and the realization of how different their futures would now be. Others speculated about the political implications, how Spain's government would respond to such openness, how the press would dissect every word of Leonor's confession. As the night wore on, Leonor addressed her guests once again. This time, her message was simple but powerful: she would not hide who she was. She promised to reign with honesty, to lead not just with duty but with love, and to allow her people to see her not as a distant monarch, but as a woman who lived and felt as they did. That vow, more than the rings or the crown, sealed her destiny in the eyes of her people. And so, the secret of Princess Leonor's wedding was not scandal, but courage. The courage to reveal the truth of her love, the courage to defy centuries of silence, and the courage to show that even the most guarded of royals has a heart that beats with the same fears and hopes as anyone else. The world will never forget this day. The wedding that was supposed to be ordinary became extraordinary. The heir who was supposed to follow the script tore it apart and wrote her own. And in doing so, Leonor didn't just marry the man she loved, she married her crown to her heart. What happens next? That is the question that will keep Spain, Denmark, and the entire world watching. Will her reign be strengthened by this honesty, or will tradition push back against her boldness? Only time will tell. But one thing is certain: Princess Leonor's royal wedding secret is no longer hidden. It has been revealed to the world, and it has changed history forever.